I've got a dream for the world. Peace in the rivers and everywhere. Bridges of steel and love, and cities that smile. Oh, gray empty faces walk by. Hands try to hide all the loneliness. Lighting a cigarette to blow time away. Lost in the noise, lonely as the wind. People on the sidewalks with no place to go. Can they learn to understand the world of love that I'm dreaming? Oh, and I said I've got a sack full of dreams. People filled with laughter and toy balloons, and people with hearts that care, who listen for love. Hey, won't you listen? Wanting to care, wanting to share all my dreams for the world. Can they learn to understand world of love that I'm dreaming?
Not productive. It's kind of gross and icky, and I feel like it tells us more about them. People that are trying to degrade, they're always trying to degrade someone.
So patient, I'm going places, can't fake it. My heart is so cold, my energy is contagious. All the pain, I can't take it. I'm staying grounded and graceful, cause I know everything that I've been through only made me count my blessings daily. Yeah, they've been acting shady, but I don't take it personal. The memories fading, I'm enjoying the moment. I've been smelling the roses, taking time to reflect, stepping back, the truth unfolding, unfolding. Got nothing to prove, cause I'm about to blow. I've been in the booth, speaking through my soul. Either way it goes, I cannot turn close. Ain't none low. I've been protecting my soul. If your intentions are not pure, I can't let you get too close. Cause I'm vibrating high, ain't got time for your ego. These niggas quit to turn it back. Acting like the amigos, they never cared in the shows. Wasn't with you at your lows, assuming that you gonna fold. But baby, I've been growing ever since I let you go. And I've been doing better and I know that hurts to know. Hurts to know. Only good vibes around me and that's for sure.
He's a fucking terrorist, a fucking pedophile, sympathizing fucking terrorist.
Good vibes, good vibes. Only need good vibes. Can't lie. Good vibes, good vibes. Good vibes, good vibes. You see me searching for my inner peace. I've been learning more about myself and my purpose. Truth always comes to the surface. Was hurting, but I had to heal. Releasing all the pain that I always held. Been going through some changes, I'll make it still. Protecting my soul to keep it real. Only need good vibes, good vibes. Good vibes, good vibes. Only need good vibes, good vibes. Good vibes, good vibes. Only need good vibes.
Prophet is a fucking terrorist, a fucking pedophile, sympathizing fucking terrorist. It's not productive. It's kind of gross and icky. Fuck you. Prof is a fucking terrorist. It's not productive. It's kind of gross and icky. Fuck you. Prof is a fucking terrorist. A fucking pedophile, sympathizing fucking terrorist.
All right. Hello, everyone. Hopefully you hear me. I'm going to do a little sound check. Make sure you do. Looks like that's working. So God bless all and welcome on in to the Prof Show on a Friday night. Tonight's November 28th, 2025. That's right. It's after Thanksgiving for all of you out there who are wondering. After Thanksgiving and welcome in. I appreciate y'all being here. Look, hey, it is what it is. And I'm happy to see everyone here. Thanks for being early. Apologize for being late. I had problems with uploading. And tonight we're going to do a bunch of watching of videos that are very important and kind of heavy. So I wanted to clear the energy here and give us all like a super clean slate so we can get into things. But I'm so happy to see everyone here. And hopefully you've had a really nice week. It is what we make it. We make it good. So let's make it good and let's continue to make it good. And I want to give a special shout out here to all the wonderful creators who are choosing to co-create beauty and love and truth. All of the things that make this world a beautiful place, because God knows that there's a lot of people who are co-creating a very ugly environment. So I thought about what I wanted to talk about tonight, and sometimes it's good to zoom out. We can talk about specifics and particulars and zooming on into the individual atrocities that make this a horrible place to be, because we all know that if you attempt to tell the truth in this true crime universe that is infiltrated with bad actors, that the first thing's going to come to you is a lot of ugliness. And what can I say? There's been so much ugliness. And, I often recount my first experience into coming here onto YouTube. And listen, I'm not saying that I was a great person stepping in, doing everything right. I mean, God knows we all make mistakes. And let me say that for those of you who don't necessarily realize how it is, when you step into this arena here and you choose to be open and honest and try to tell the truth and seek that, you will be targeted. And it's funny because people try to make excuses. Like they try to make excuses like, well, it's the internet. Get used to it. Welcome to the club. You asked for it, you got it. But I think those excuses are unacceptable. And we should all hold each other to a higher standard because at the end of the day, would you wish this for one of your loved ones? Would you wish this sort of abuse and targeting and hate and harassment and nagging uh, uh, type of criticism on a child of yours or family member of yours who happened to want to step into this arena and speak? I mean, uh, you know, when I came around, I started wanting to hear other voices, share the stage with other voices, and uplift other voices, which is what we all should be doing. And it's funny because instead of that, I found a whole bunch of chaos. Um, and it's funny how such a minority of people can make an experience so bad. But that's the way in general, I think it is with the world because most people are good. Most people are kind hearted and optimistic and appreciative of others and lift others up. That's the normal human state. But for some reason, and most of us can sort of intuit what that reason is, you come into this arena and you see the ugliest side of humanity. We're supposed to be here shining a light on the ugliest part of humanity in order to flush it out. That's why we're here, right? So what's the point of taking a close look at the underbelly of society other than to highlight it, to let the sunlight in so that this darkness cannot last? Yet when we come here, it's sort of a dark cloud over this sphere. You come in here and in trying to shed a light on the underbelly of human society and trying to do your best, uh, even if it means some speculation and some novel thinking or thought pathways. Um, there should be latitude for that. Okay, what I guess what I'm saying, there should be latitude. Permission should be given to explore the depths of society, right? To speculate, to hypothesize, to try to form novel connections so that we're contributing and we're sharpening each other with our wit and intellect and speculation. And it's just so funny that in this particular case, and I know in others, that seems to not be allowed. And that was the first thing that really struck me when I came into this as a greenie, a new person, wet behind the ears. I was actually shocked at the lack of tolerance for speech on this topic. And it's so funny that people behaved as if I was saying the most unacceptable, outrageous things. And actually, over the course of time, I documented a lot of instances of these uh, state bootlicking prosecution shill guilters, bloodlusty demons, a methed out crackhead, redneck, pedophile enabling uh, criminal fucktards uh, to try to censor sheer thought and honest speculation in an open platform. And it's funny because instead of them allowing this sort of dialogue and letting the truth win in the end, uh, they immediately piled on to stifle that free speech and brainstorming, so to speak. And that's really unbelievable because in what sphere is that not allowed? Like, think about this. What are think tanks? Question. What are think tanks? What is the purpose of meetings? Typically you have meetings. When you get together with a good team to have a meeting, the the point of that is usually to get all the ideas around the table and let the best ideas rise to the surface so that they can be incorporated into the game plan for the team so that things are better than before. And I thought that's what I was coming into when covering Delphi 3 years ago. And like I said, instead, I was met with a cross, and a bunch of nails and whips and pitchforks. And that has continued. And like I said, when you are met with that, you don't necessarily always respond the best immediately because your instinct kicks in, your survival instinct, and your fight or flight instinct kicks in. And so one of the first instincts, other than to run away, is to fight fire with fire. So they go to doxing, harassing, lying, defaming, uh, intimidating, ridicule. And so it causes one to do the same in response. And of course, like a typical narcissistic crazy maker, they always blame the victim blaming. In all ways, okay, in all ways, they'll victim blame because if you dare to call out what's happening to you and tell the truth about it and even show the receipts, suddenly you're the bad guy. And the perpetrators sit behind their anonymous accounts and behind their computer screens and they push further and further and further and they go lower and lower and lower. And that's the hallmark of people who are here to do evil. There's no good that they're trying to do. Okay. There's no good that they could possibly accomplish in what they have done to myself, to others, and what they are doing continuously, still to this day, to myself and others. And people seem to not really understand it. And it's just hilarious to me the number of followers that I've had over the years who've gotten upset, aggravated, butthurt, and fuss and run away as if I'm responsible for doing what I have to do to maintain some integrity, some dignity, and some sort of control of my own platform. Remember, I'm not going into anyone else's uh, platforms and trying to cause disturbances there. I'm sitting on mine, which I own, which is all me. It's solely mine. It's just me. And even that is not allowed. And I think that should be food for thought for all of you. And of course, many of you here, it's just by your own um, critical thinking and perseverance that you've stuck around. And so I do appreciate that because we do have a wonderful community. And, I no longer consider myself a part of the Delphi community. Delphi community can be flushed down the toilet. But this is truly the profs community. This is our community. And what we built here is really amazing. It really is. I think between both my channels, there's about 7,000 or more followers. And that's a lot. And I appreciate that. We have thousands of views every time we do something. And I appreciate that. And among all my friends, there's thousands and tens of thousands of viewers. So there's plenty out here who have become a part of this journey that we're on. And it's very difficult, because it's hard for us to share personal aspects of our lives that we would love to share with you. the personal aspects of my life that I would love to share with you, both good and bad. It's difficult because I'm not even able to fully share because anything that I share will be weaponized and used against me. So, photos of myself and my students and my family over the years that I'd love to share can't do it. As much as I would love to. Uh, Talk about my health and what's going on and what I'm doing in my day-to-day life and the other things that I have going. I have other pots on the fire, so to speak. There's things I'm cooking here. I got a lot cooking. And I can't even talk about half of it because anything I talk about will be taken and twisted, manipulated, and used as a weapon against me and all of you. And that's just really a shame because wouldn't you love it if we could all really share with each other like family does? But regardless, I say the Profs crew here, you're just the best. And I truly value all of you. And I hope that we continue to build and to lift each other up and to learn from each other. Like I said, steel sharpens steel. We learn from each other and we make each other better. And your strengths are not my strengths, and my strengths are not your strengths. So altogether, all of our strengths come together into a beautiful symphony of intellect and love, trying to shine a light here. And I truly do believe that these victims in Delphi, Abigail, and Liberty were the victims ultimately of a pedophile, nihilistic, extremist child trafficking, meth trafficking network. And I've always thought that. Even through this journey with Richard Allen's arrest and all the Keegan Klein and all the other stuff, my theory remains the same. This case here, the Delphi case, opens the door into something which is so important that the door not be opened into, that it is worth having dozens of controllers, harassers, stalkers, and cyber terrorists online targeting all of us to keep that door closed, to keep that truth hidden. And I call it 213. Okay, I call it 213. I think we're dealing with a network of individuals who predate on children throughout the world. And somehow Abby and Libby got tied into that and ended up dead. It's my theory. And I don't see a lot on the surface yet, but things are coming to the surface. Things have slowly been rising to the surface in the years. And tonight we'll be getting into that. And so part of what we're going to do tonight is we're going to take a look at an individual who's going to teach us and teach all of you, hopefully I'm going to force you to expose yourselves to some information tonight, which is very important and it's very relevant. It's probably the most relevant thing that I could share with you tonight. Although I think we have not yet had a breakthrough into who's behind the network that's operating in the United States that's controlling or intertwined into the Delphi case and these other cases that we suspect are connected. We're going to see an analog of that tonight. So I hope that all of you maybe get your snacks, something to drink, and put your listening ears on because this will be very important tonight. And I want to thank Mr. Sean Ryan for this material here that we're going to be looking at tonight. I think you'll find it very interesting. And when it's done, I'll share his channel with you, and then we'll take a look at some other stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing. But before we do that, let's see. I wanted to share something with you. Let me see. All right, let's see. You see, here is my my GoFundMe tonight. Okay, so I just want to show you guys this. You can see this is my GoFundMe. I'm asking you all to consider contributing to my GoFundMe here. Support the Prof's podcast, True Crime and News. Here we have, you can see I've raised $1,065, halfway to my goal. Okay, and that's me and Little Prof. You see my Little Prof there? My Little Prof. That photo was taken in Indianapolis, actually, on our trip to Indiana to visit Delphi. We stopped in Indianapolis and went to Monument Circle. That photo was taken there. Anyhow, you can see there, it's at Donate to the Prof's podcast, True Crime News. Okay. Anyway, I just wanted to show that. Maybe we'll find a way. Let's see, I can drop the link later. So please go check that out over at the GoFundMe. If you'd like to support the channel, listen, the truth is we need it. Like I said, I cannot necessarily share that much about what's going on in my life because, you know, maniacs. And you know who the maniacs are. Do I need to spell it out for you? The maniacs. So I won't share much about why that GoFundMe is necessary, but it's necessary. So that's there, and there's the link here. I'm going to pin the link in the chat. So please go visit the GoFundMe if you'd like to support me. I truly would appreciate it. The holidays are coming, and Little Prof is there, and so am I. So please do support us at the GoFundMe, and I really appreciate that. Anyhow, without further ado, let's get on to it. Okay, we're going to be watching a little something. So here's our, here's how we're going to step into it. So let me bring these gentlemen to the stage.
So before we go on the break, I just want to share something with you. So after all of that stuff, bad reputation with the cops, with everybody, they paid for me to go to fire school. They paid for me to go through fire school. I didn't let them down. I showed up every single day. I became an actual firefighter for 2 years. And this man, like, he didn't have to do any of that for me. I called him later in life and it was like, listen, man, like, I am so grateful for you, man. Like, you showed me that there are good people out there, you know, like people that care. That's it. We can go on the break.
That's pretty cool, man, but I do have another question.
Yeah.
But also in case after case, directly reaching into American homes, targeting teens and their families.
We were made aware of a group called 764. If you are going to Google it, I'm just providing caution to you. It can be very graphic. And this group specifically was started in the United States, or think around the Oklahoma, Texas region, in order to destabilize from within.
You know, all the other things that we've talked about. This is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
And they are specifically targeting young women, high school age, especially those that might be more emotionally vulnerable.
The damn scissor.
Okay, get your hair. It's chopping time.
They congregate on the internet and they dox, meaning like release personal information on people. They SWAT, meaning they send SWAT teams to people's houses.
Sound familiar? Sound familiar? Doxing, swatting. We'll talk about that later.
I was just on the phone getting this delivered. So somebody that's in here right now fucking got my apartment number somehow and had you come to my door.
Get recordings of them being swatted so they can use it to brag. They're going to say all these horrible things so that a SWAT team, you know, response. And that's what swatting is. I've personally been swatted 3 times.
And they are essentially blackmailing them into either sex exploitation, self-maiming, suicide, and it is a massive problem.
I'm not really worried about them. It's more so the 764 group that stemmed from the comm, which is a whole different set of evil that I've never seen.
As the FBI continues to investigate the brutal killing of Charlie Kirk, their jobs on other cases obviously don't stop. The agency tonight is warning about a different but very chilling threat called 764.
They have a whole handbook. They train each other on how to extort minors into doing these horrible things.
It's a loose and very sick network of online predators who use social media to blackmail kids into committing violent acts against themselves or others.
Make her lift up her shirt.
I will be reporting you to the police.
No, you won't do shit.
I think it would end here, right? Watch what happens. The girl's back. The dad gives her the computer back.
What?
Yeah, watch.
The FBI says it has 250 open investigations into the group.
Oh my gosh, dude.
She explains how predators are scanning online games like Minecraft and Roblox for young girls.
Why stop here? There isn't a drought of kids on Roblox.
The FBI is warning that this new network has a potential national security implication.
Here's an 11-year-old victim they're selling for money. And that is syncing with a rolling code system. Figured I'd get it out there so people are aware of it. I think I just heard it.
I think you just hit it.
Yeah, I was aiming a little higher to try to hit it.
All right. Brian, what are you doing to take care of yourself? I worry about you, man. Why was there a badge shoved in your face?
Guess to tell me he was HSI?
For what?
Don't know. He just wanted me to come down and sit down and talk to him. He never told me why, but I assume it's the database. What else would it be? I mean, if there was something criminal, he would have arrested me.
I was extremely worried for you.
Because it seemed like I was getting arrested.
Well, shit. I mean, I remember when we went to the Sound of Freedom premiere with Jim Caviezel, you know, for the
FBI
opening.
was there.
Yeah, they're fucking harassing you.
Yeah.
They're texting you, hey, don't be alarmed, but we see you over there. Yeah. Dude, I was fucking pissed.
I remember
I was
how
so
pissed you were.
fucking pissed. One, I'm sitting right next to you. You guys had the opportunity to do your fucking job years ago. You didn't do it. More kids got exploited. And now you're sitting here fucking with my friend who's trying to do the right thing. Maybe go do the right fucking thing and save some kids.
She's with JCW, Jewish Community Watch, an organization that hunts down accused pedophiles who flee to Israel from the U.S., exploiting a process called Law of Return.
At the Israeli, cyber fucking command or whatever, got caught luring in kids to have sex with in a hotel room. I tweeted this out. Did we prosecute that individual? No. We packaged him up and fucking sent his happy ass back to Israel. No consequences whatsoever. What the fuck is that? Hunting down people that are exploiting children sexually on the internet.
Yeah, I got a text message from my friend's wife. It was multiple photos of screenshots of this website. A switch flipped in my brain and I left my friend's house immediately as I got the text. The story I told you about the bathtub situation where there was a father who posted their child in the bathtub. It said underneath of it, they have no idea what's going to happen to them tonight. And underneath of that, there were people that were part of this website who were saying what they were going to do to this child. I instantly went to the exploited children tip line. Then I reached out to a bunch of news stations, talked to a ton of reporters, and all of them were super excited to talk to me.
What news stations?
Sun Sentinel, Daily Mail, Business Insider, Fox, some influencers, Ronan Farrow, Candace Owens, they both didn't read my messages. Once it got back from legal, they weren't allowed to report on it because the owner of the website happened to be a Democratic politician. His name is Nathan Larson. Completely ignored.
Completely ignored it. A quote from Nathan Larson. I'm going to read it. It's not enough to just let her know what you love her for the most.
Like with girls, believe that fathers to make those decisions.
This is disgusting.
He gets arrested 6 months later with a 12-year-old at a layover at an airport.
The guy with the daughter in the bathtub.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know where he went. He's part of the database. It started because of the frustration that nothing happened, and the entirety of the case was thrown out because there was no shower inside of Walmart. So there's no way he could have showered.
You've got to be shitting me. How did Project Veritas get involved with it?
They saw the podcast of me talking about the website, and they said, well, I want to help you bring justice to this. FBI even failed. Everybody failed me. I felt like they failed me. You helped me an absolute ton because I was panicking, man. I was panicking because I wanted the information out there, but I didn't know what to expect because technically what I did at that time was not legal. My intentions were obviously good, so we started a conversation, and you know, I wanted to get the story out there no matter what way it went out. I didn't care if it went out from a left wing, right wing, in between wing. It didn't matter. I just wanted the story out there. And, you know, I didn't know anything about politics, still really don't. But I just was very, very blown away by a small account blowing up the way that it blew up. So I reach out. I start speaking with you. We arrange a podcast, which, if you remember, Project Veritas was involved.
I remember.
So this is what I want to get into what happened with that. So actually, this is the way I really want to put it, is nobody had the balls to talk about this story and I proved that with the media. I showed them what needed to be out there. It was black and white how bad this website was, and I had evidence that you could not refute of all of the people involved, and they just ignored me. And you saw that 1 minute clip and said, you know what? I'm going to risk my whole channel. I'm going to risk.
Sound familiar? Does it sound familiar to have all of this evidence and be ignored, shining a light on this?
Everything, just because I want to get this kid that I don't even know, meaning me, I want to get this kid's message out there. And you have no idea how much I appreciate that. And how many kids that's actually helped, not just from me, from you, man. Like without you, without obviously all the things that led up to you, none of that would have happened, you know? And I am beyond grateful for that. And it's opened up so many doors, which I'll obviously get into in this episode, but beyond blessed, super grateful for it. And, you know, one thing that's frustrating is, and I have a good and bad thing to say about Project Veritas and why I wanted to tie them into this story, is Project Veritas is the first journalist group to reach out to me that I was willing to, because they said, we'll come with, we'll fly overnight. We'll be there the next day. So they were in New York. I was in Florida. And they said, we'll come out and check out the database and we will investigate it. So of course I was like, yeah, come out, let's do it. Anybody who wants to run this story, let's go. This is right about the time James O'Keefe left or was fired, whatever happened there. That doesn't matter to me, to be honest with you. They fly out to Florida. I hand them the data, and all of their journalists, all their reporters, the ones that I worked with directly, were passionate and wanted to work on this project. And they spent days / weeks / months of their life on this project. So I can't say a single negative thing about the team that I worked with there. They were all great, and they cared a ton about this case. Mm-hmm. What happened is James's replacement, her name is Hannah Giles. She came in as the interim CEO while they were trying to figure out what was going on. And at that point, if you remember, there were 7,000 people in that database from the original database. And Project Veritas, the goal was to go out to confront these people face to face with hidden cameras and ask them about their participation on the website. So like that meaning like not just you were on the site, but here's the forum posts that you made, here's the private messages that you had with other users, like expose these people. So they exposed a couple of them. They put it out publicly. And we identified 500 of the 7,000 without a shadow of a doubt. 500 of the 7,000 were identified at the time when Hannah Giles became the interim CEO.
7,000.
They wanted her, I'm assuming Hannah, wanted the New York Post or New York Times to release a story on it. And that was their main focus, which at that time, I remember, we were talking about it. When you're talking about circulation, it's like social media has a way bigger circulation than them. Then Hannah says to me, I'm on the phone with her, and she tells me that my story is not a tidal wave. That's the words verbatim that this woman used, and she shut it down. So,
well, boy, she fucked that one up, didn't she?
She really did. And, not only because of how big this story got and how many kids, how much impact that database made on, some of the predator networks following it as well. But, the sad part of this is with Project Veritas, 500 of the 7,000 identified, 13 of which of the 500 were convicted of sex crimes with children after I originally reported the information to, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the tip lines, the task force, all the media. So, just ironically, the average offender has 13 victims in a lifetime, but 13 different cases occurred after I reported it. And then she shuts it down. So that's 500 of the 7,000. Who knows how many didn't get caught? Mm-hmm. And who knows how many more, how many victims just, it could have been prevented if someone would have just taken me seriously. And you did, man. You did. Project Veritas, as much as they, may get some hate or whatever, I don't have any opinion on anything else they've ever done other than what they've done with me. And their journalists were good to me. Their interim CEO, I don't like the way that she treated this situation. And I have no problem saying that. And yeah, man, I just wanted to, so I guess a long way of saying thank you so much. And I appreciate the balls that you have because nobody else did.
Well, it's my honor, man. But, I forgot about the Veritas stuff because we had to coordinate release of the episode with them.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. And there was some other publication that they're like, we got to wait and see if this goes. And I remember having a conversation with you and I was like, dude, what we have here is 10 times any of the publications that they're talking about. And this is going to fucking send. And it did. It wound up being the most viewed, most downloaded, biggest episode I've ever done, still to this date. And
you hear that? This guy, the biggest episode he's ever done to this date, and no one wanted to hear it. Just like no one wants to hear us, right? Oh, sorry. It looks like I lost my spot. Let's see.
Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/srclips. That's meetfabric.com/srclips. meetfabric.com/srclips. Policies issued by Western Southern Life Assurance Company, not available in certain states. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions.
All right, come on.
I don't think you wanted to be public. You were extremely fucking nervous to come on the show.
100%.
And I remember going through my head, like, how do I calm this guy down? And, but however, whatever, it worked. And yeah, it was jeopardizing my entire business. Cause this is the forbidden fruit that you cannot talk about on certain platforms.
Right.
I remember thinking, you know what? Fuck it. We're not monetized.
This is the forbidden fruit that you cannot talk about on the internet. Starting to make sense?
In this, I want to fly under the radar. I don't give a shit if they shut everything down. It ended trying to pump some good into the world, and I'm like 100% fine with that.
And that takes balls. Like for the third time, it takes balls, and I appreciate that. And to be honest with you, and I know I gave you a warning beforehand, but this one is just as deep and dear to my heart, and I have some stuff that I really need parents to know, and it's going to be rough. And I think that you guys, whoever's watching this, you're going to hear a lot of beeping.
Yeah,
but it's important that you listen to what I have to tell you today.
Yeah, I want to say, this is going to be a very educational episode. I'm not familiar with everything that you're going to put out because we save that stuff for the actual conversation. So it's 100% in the moment and legitimate reactions and all that kind of stuff and legitimate curiosity. But I want to say I could imagine that we're going to have to edit some stuff out of this episode for the purpose that it lives and gets to where it needs to go. And so if you want to watch the unedited version of this discussion, it's going to be over on Vigilance Elite Patreon. So links in the description, you can go there, but, and that's enough of that. But I wanted to say, man, and we've talked about it a lot offline and especially at the very beginning after the episode when you were trying to figure out where you want to go and because I think this was a segue into you having a much bigger role in the fight against exploitation and trafficking. Oh, yeah. But what we did, man, is, I jeopardized everything. You did too. But what wound up happening was We educated millions and millions of parents. We educated millions and millions and millions of kids on how this happens. Prove to them how fast it happens. You know, dude, I will never forget when you made the screen name Ashley13, because I was like, this isn't like, there's no way this shit happens this much. So I wanted to time you to see how, I figured we'd be there all fucking day.
Yeah, unfortunately
Dude,
not.
it was for like 5 seconds. And and that just proved to, like I said, millions and millions and millions of parents and kids, like this is how common this is. This is how fast it can happen. And then on the other hand, we scared a metric shit ton
of predators.
Predators.
Oh yeah.
And
and
so it really was the perfect storm. But some other context. I mean, now I'm like going back and forth. Now I'm like remembering all the things that happened like right after the episode. And I mean, we blasted the FBI on that episode.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Actually, we didn't blast them. We just expressed what happened when you got the information to the FBI and how they totally fucking dismissed it and how interested they were after the episode came out. Remember that? Remember how much they wanted to help? I know you guys are like maybe talking right now. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, everything I do now is in parallel with law enforcement, so.
Cool.
Yeah, now I'll get into more of what that means.
But yeah, I remember being extremely fearful. I was like, these people aren't trying to help you. They didn't help you the first time. There's 7,000 names on that list. And that was developed, a website was developed by a politician. They're trying to, every motherfucker on there is calling in favors, trying to get their name redacted from
I remember, do you
list.
remember, I was so scared of, because, you know, I took as you said, it was a risk for me. I was scared my door was going to get kicked in. They were like, I don't have anything to worry about, but I don't want to lose all my electronics or end up getting charged with something that I gotta go to trial for and all this stuff. And I'm calling you at like 11, 12 o'clock at night. You got Tim Parlatour helping me out. You got all these people, you know, telling me like, yo, do this, do that, like make sure you don't do this, don't do that. Like I got you helped me an absolute ton back, you know, because I was panicking, man. I was panicking because I wanted the information out there, but I didn't know what to expect because technically what I did at that time was not legal. My intentions were obviously good. I would say it's more gray than black hat, but it was, you know, I obtained that information illegally. So I was scared. I was genuinely scared, and it was very new territory to me. I know now a lot more than I did. And as I said in the beginning, if I had to go to trial for this and I had to stand in front of 12 jurors or jury, like I have a hard time believing that people would say that I'm a criminal for taking down a predator organization. But I genuinely was scared at that time.
No matter where you're watching Sean Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts. You're basically...
Okay, so that was just the introduction, okay? Now that's your introduction for where we're going tonight. And like I said, trigger warning. What we're going to look at, so this original podcast, we're only going to look at a few clips from the 5 hours. So I'll share with you when we're done with this, where you can go see the whole 5 hours, because trust me, tomorrow or this weekend, if you have the time, I highly recommend put that 5 hour podcast on and listen to it in its entirety. You'll come away from it a different person, and maybe you'll start to understand what we're dealing with here in Delphi a little better. But until then, what we're going to do tonight is just look at a couple of the pertinent clips to give you an idea of how deep this goes in this particular episode. And then after that, we'll look at some other stuff. So we'll get started now. And again, if you have kids around, shoo them away for now, maybe, unless they're teenagers and then they need to hear this. But yeah, so let's do a little listen to this highly concerning information from this ethical hacker. And remember, he's saying that he found 7,000 individuals and their identities, right, that are predating upon children. And the FBI didn't want to do nothing about it until it was blasted to the world. Now, you think about that. And why do you think we're doing what we're doing here on Delphi?
Some rough stuff, so get ready for this. The username made me paint the walls of Eden with my blood, snuffed my humanity. Where is your God now? And it's a wall covered in their blood with satanic symbols that they drew onto the wall. These are some of the cut signs.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I just want to be left alone.
Oh, I understand, but it's not that simple.
This is where he kills the old lady.
Here's that girl right here.
What is this?
This is just a girl. She doesn't hurt herself, but listen to what they say.
Just please.
Hold on.
I mean, we can make that happen. It's really simple.
Just please, no.
Okay, well, listen to us, babe. Come on. We're trying to help you out.
I just want to be left alone and
Oh,
leave the
I
server.
understand, but it's not that simple.
Can I please just do that?
You want to leave the server? I don't know if you ask her. I think she's got to work for it.
Yep, definitely.
Did you just hear let me stop it here because I'm going to be stopping it. Didn't you just hear a female voice? Now, I don't mean the child. Didn't you just hear an adult male, an adult female voice terrorizing this child? Do I need to back it up for you? I think I will. Let's see.
Yep, definitely.
I don't know if you ask her. I think she's got to work for it.
Yep, definitely.
Female.
The fuck is that? Are you like dyslexic or something? Holy shit.
I'm looking in the camera to do it.
Dude, you're stupid. Hey, can you hear us? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm 27 years old, by the way. I want your daughter to do stuff for me.
Okay, that's fine. I'll report you to the police.
Oh, I'm sure you will, fatty. Can you leave the room, though? I'm busy talking with your daughter. I just saw her tits. She's like 16, I'm 27. Make her lift up her shirt.
I will be reporting you to the police.
You think it would end here, right? Watch what happens. The girl's back. The dad gives her the computer back.
What?
Yeah, watch. Watch. See? She's back. And he ends it with, "Do you want to die tonight?" But the dad gives that girl the access to the internet after he just saw and heard, not even her hurting herself,
What
but
the
them threatening
fuck?
her. That's a bad parent, in my opinion. And then this one that you're not going to see. Oh, yeah, this is the hamster situation.
What's wrong with this dad?
Oh gosh, no, that's not it. Sorry. Trying to find. Yeah, this girl's just cutting her ponytail, but it's very sad.
Get your hair. It's chopping time.
And all of these are different people, by the way.
Okay.
These are all in the cult?
Yeah.
Cut all of your ponytail off right now.
No.
Yeah.
Can I cut this much?
No. All of the ponytail.
I'm not cutting the entire ponytail, dude. I will cut this much.
Okay, let's press send.
I'll press send, he said. Do you hear that?
No. Okay, is there anything else I could do? Like a fan sign or something?
She's willing to cut herself over, cut her hair.
What you need to do.
You have 30 seconds.
No.
Oh no, should we press send?
Fine. No. It is much, okay?
Go.
Start cutting. Chop, 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 chop.
Safety scissors.
Yeah, they are really bad.
Keep going.
Listen to what happens next.
Please, just leave me alone.
Okay, I want you to take the hair that you cut off, right? I want you to put it in your mouth. I want you to say, I'm sorry, Moist. I'm sorry,
I'm
Fur.
sorry, Moist.
I'm sorry, O'Hare.
I'm sorry, O'Hare.
I'm sorry, Duck.
I'm sorry, Doug. Are we good?
No.
Get a marker.
Where's the marker?
I mean, this is just step one.
This is just step one. So just for the people editing, please edit those usernames that she said out, because that just gives them the credibility that they want. She said 3 different names there, if that was picked up on the microphone. And you've seen that one. So this is the extortion side of things. I wanted to show you some, not as, I don't want to show you videos of, what you're thinking, because it's too much. These are some of the cut signs.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That is the name of a person.
That is fucking deep cuts.
And that's the name of the group. That's another name of the group with, just pointless hate. This guy has a ton of victims. This is a very deep.
Holy shit.
And if you read this one, oh no, let me get you the first one so it makes sense. Right here. It's hard to read, but it says,
laughing as they called me names, reposted my videos and pictures. I stripped myself down. I don't recognize a single square inch of my body. It's all branded, cut up, and bruised. I hate them so much.
And then that's the name of the group that's cut into her stomach. That part of the groups. Here's some, they're called blood signs, where they cut themselves and put the blood on the wall. And a lot of times it's satanic things, which I have one you can read. That user made me do it, ruined me, satanic symbols. Blood writing or blood signs.
You want to read it? I don't want to read the wrong
Blood
names.
signs, satanic.
The username made me paint the walls of Eden with my blood and snuffed my humanity. Where is your God now? And it's a wall covered in their blood with satanic symbols that they drew onto the wall. Very, very graphic of they cut themselves deeply and write this into the walls. I sold my soul to the group name written on this wall with handprints of blood, upside down crosses, pentagrams. I sold my soul to that group name again, completely different victim.
Do you want us to put these up?
I mean, you're welcome to take all of this.
I mean, has anybody done this? Is this...
There's some of this is, like almost all of this is public. I wanted to make sure I wasn't putting anything illegal on your show.
Public where? Is this...
On different forums and stuff. Animal abuse. There's a girl holding up her cat, covered the head of the cat, but that's the guy's username, very popular in this all of these cults, all these groups, and that's just a victim, but she literally murdered her cat. And this is a guy, completely separate situation. He killed his cat, victim. That's a cat, dead cat's body part, and they.
You guys remember in Delphi, Eric Williams, Pat Westfall Bradholder, talking about all of the slaughtered animals in the woods at Deer Creek? Remember Pat Westfall wanting to move on from animal sacrifice to human? Remember the goat heads hanging in Ron Logan's trees?
Use its blood to write the group's name. So that's just the animal stuff, but there is, for whatever reason, I'm missing a video here. Maybe it's in the miscellaneous.
Look at this guy can't even take it. Look, you guys know body language, right? You guys know body language. All right, he's covering his mouth. He's covering his mouth. It's hard for him to stomach what he's seeing.
No, that's the last one I wanted to go over.
Oh.
There's some rough stuff, so get ready for this.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Show me. Come on.
Oh, man. This is where he kills the old lady.
I'm not sure if it's this one. I know it hurts this one.
What the fuck,
one, yep.
man?
This is on a call with somebody random in the group.
So he just...
Give me a second.
Yeah. 14 years you got for this.
So this dude... We can't put that up.
Obviously
This
not,
dude just stomped on an old woman's head until she was dead. And then slit her throat.
Yep, just to prove to that group that he was worthy.
Hello. Live on the internet.
Different person completely here. Killed her.
Threw her down the stairs.
Yep. Here's a suicide from somebody that was trying to do, his own version of anti-extortion. He wrote a suicide note, put himself online, puts up the note to prove himself, and that's a suicide note, and then he just ends it. And that's it for him. It's a guy that was, I guess, already knocked out. I don't know if he died or did not die, but these are all different individuals, by the way. Like the criminals.
Holy shit.
That's somebody... I took the video off of this because I didn't want you to have to see someone burning alive. But that's a homeless person fully engulfed in flames and murdered. And then him in the chat bragging about it.
Jeez, dude.
So that, and then the last one that I'll show you is the miscellaneous, which same username from earlier, has me and my 2-year-old sister captive. He's a sick man. And then you see her with her child.
No matter where you're watching.
Started with him luring minors on Minecraft to store and make them self-harm.
How many members does 764 group have?
20,000, 30,000.
All right. We're going into another clip. Rotting Jules says these groups have merged initiation rituals with blackmail and snuff, immediately creating the financial conduit to thrive. Welcome to Delphi.
1,000.
Oh, it's huge. They have an over 240-page manual on how to do this to children. They share amongst each other. 17-year-old member Nino live streamed himself attacking an 82-year-old man, and 2 weeks later, he murdered a 74-year-old woman on video who he believed to be Roma to prove his loyalty to the group.
That's the worst death possible.
And they're laughing about it. So I went into the 15-year-old that started it. He started luring minors from Minecraft. That's where it all began. It all started with him luring minors on Minecraft.
Okay, so listen, as we get into this, start paying attention to the platforms where this is all happening. Understand? He's already talked about Discord. Okay, Discord. Next up, Minecraft.
To, sextort them and make them self-harm. The group was influenced by Order of Nine Angles, which is a Satanist group outside of the internet, which is a combination of Satanism, neo-Nazism, occultism, and all kinds of things. So, obviously that goes with, if I want to just read a list, it's rejected empathy, promoted ritual violence, belief in culling, which if you know what culling is, that means that real power comes from harming others without hesitation. So that's like a whole Satanist belief. And then there's a ton of offshoots, a ton of these other groups that I have notes that, no exaggeration, this long, full of different groups that are doing the same thing, full of members. So
we're not just talking about one group called 764. Did y'all understand that? Okay, we're not just talking about a group that has to call themselves 764. There's not just one group, and that group is not just 764 or 09A. They're groups you've never heard of, like whatever this 213 symbology is.
How many members does this 764 group have?
If I don't have an exact number on it, but if I had to guess, 20,000, 30,000.
20,000 people.
Oh, it's huge. Like, there is no shortage of these scumbags. No shortage.
No shortage.
The average vulnerable target that they're going for is 9 to 17 years old.
9
to 17. That's the average. They'll go for anybody, but that's usually what they run into in these games like Minecraft and Roblox and other social media apps.
Roblox, okay, Minecraft, Discord, Roblox, okay, keeping track.
And without going into more of these notes, because I'm just trying to hit some key points and not forget them. They're targeting minors, and I have a few screenshots to show you this, on mental health forums. So they'll go to a mental health forum where they see somebody is struggling as a kid, saying that they're either being bullied in school and they don't want to live anymore, or that they're self-harming already, and they'll pretend. So they lure from those groups, they groom them by trying to be their friend or pretend to be their boyfriend, and give them actual mental health therapy. Sorry, it's hard for me to even say this. Mental health therapy, and and I'll read those conversations, some of the grooming that they do, and they even have playbooks on how grooming and sextortion. They have an over 240-page manual on how to do this to children that they share amongst each other. And they, like I said, they're all in mental health forums. They even had I have a tweet that I took a screenshot of. I'll show you, where it's a group that where they're saying, like, join here if you're struggling with mental health, and it's just a direct link into one of these horrible groups that, as soon as that person or child, mostly children, believes that person's their boyfriend or their friend or their girlfriend, one or the other, and they send those nude photos, the second that happens, then they go right into the extortion. And
okay, so this is why I mentioned earlier blackmail. Okay, remember how I said she was cutting the ponytail off for blackmail, and he was threatening to hit send? Well, what that's about is they form these juvenile type of bonds and get the girls or boys or children to send nudes. And once they have the nudes, immediately they go to this blackmail. You've got to do this, or I do this. A blackmail, extortion, sextortion, where they're going to take those nudes of that child and they threaten to send it to the parents or send it to the school or send it to some public platform. So that's the blackmail.
And extreme violence. All they want to create what's called, and like I said, I'll get into the slang. They want to create what's called a lore book. So it's like a collection of all of their extortion material that they could use against them. And do I need to use any more of these? Let me see. Yeah, so, okay, in these notes too, over 250 ongoing investigations by the FBI, briefings at Europol conference. FBI classified 764 as as a domestic
terrorist group.
Terrorist group, yep. And then there's a bunch of people that were arrested. But where do you see the time that a lot of these people got? It's nothing, man. It's nothing. And some of them are having children kill themselves. Like, it's mind-blowing. It is absolutely mind-blowing. But I'll read. Are you
talking about time they got in prison?
Time they got in prison, yeah.
They've had people kill themselves through extortion, and I mean, what is the sentence? What is it?
So I'll read you some of the stories. Okay, so these are just notes that I wrote for this podcast, and I figured that I would do a lot of it off the top of my head, but it gets me so worked up that I'm probably better off just making sure I get this on point. But 14-year-old, and I'm just going to use their first names, the victims, even if it is public. 14-year-old Elliot joined a black metal music forum during a tough family transition and started at a new high school. 764.
Stop here. I'm going to stop here. I hate to interrupt them, guys, but I'd like to add what I can when I can. Key term here. All right, key term. And if you've studied, now here's the thing. People always say I'm cocky or know-it-all with Delphi. No, I'm not. I don't want to be the king of Delphi. I don't care. Okay. Here's the thing, though. If you've actually looked into Delphi, studied Delphi, you should know the implications of black metal. Okay. For those of you out there, especially those interested in this type of thing, black metal. Okay. Especially black metal in the Midwest. Well, let me back it up a sec.
Music forum during a tough family transition and started.
So listen to what happened here, because she stepped into the viper's den, right?
Even if it is public. 14-year-old Elliot joined a black metal music forum during a tough family transition and started at a new high school. 764 members pretended to be supporting quote-unquote friends, directing him to gore sites, which later escalated to him carving satanic symbols into his skin and producing hundreds of self-harm photos categorized as CSAM. So that was one, and something that I learned is that self-harm pictures within themselves, even if it's children, from what I read, is not considered CSAM, like child sexual abuse material, but if it is sexualized, it turns into child sexual abuse material. So that's a weird thing for me. I don't fully understand that. Another one. teenage girl named Eve was found in another Discord server. Discord's a chat application that a lot of them use.
Discord.
By a 764 member posing as a friend. He faked giving her a ton of affection, support, which in quotes, which she desperately needed at that time, which is what she said. Then extorted naked photos and forced her on video to carve usernames deeply into her skin, and strangle and behead her pet hamster. A member said, "Bite the head off or I'll F your whole life up," in quotes. And later, she cut herself deeply in the bath to, as they told her to, turn the water red. And there's, a video of her in a bathtub that's red, full of her blood. They even sent a SWAT team to her home, as well as leaving permanent 764 scars all over her body. She's still in therapy, and she did all of this in her bedroom closet. And I have the pictures to show you this with this particular victim. A 25-year-old man, deep in depression, was targeted by a female that was also recruited into 764, so likely a victim herself that was converted into an extorter.
Female. It's not just men. It's not just men, okay? We got women in this thing, right? You don't see women in this insanity we're dealing with here on Delphi? Do you see women?
Which happens often, by the way.
That happened. That's common.
That's common because these kids, they're already, a lot of them struggling with mental health issues. They find a group that they think are their friends somehow, and then they start extorting other kids. So it's a vicious cycle that needs to be broken. She started, so in this particular case, the 25-year-old man, deep in depression, was targeted by a female, recruited into 764. She started daring him to commit self-harm videos, which later escalated to him dousing himself in gasoline, lighting himself on fire in his hotel room. As the group watched and laughed at him, he passed away. See screenshot I wrote of the virtual funeral, because that's what he said, "Watch my virtual funeral." And I want you to hear these idiots in the YouTube video as this guy lights himself on fire.
Bishkek, called Tashtar Ata. He found a spot in the snow, set up his phone, and lit himself on fire. The entire ordeal played out live on a Discord call. At least 29 users were in the server while it happened.
Discord,
as he was
once again.
propping up his phone, sitting on the ground, praying, then dousing himself. Some were recording, others were cheering. In one clip, someone shouts out the group. Another calls her by name.
Shout out to Discord. Fucking Xanax. Shout out to fucking 764.
Shout out to everyone fucking. Big shout out to Money and big shout out to SMLK. And we gotta say,
It took you so fucking long.
6323 is better than 764.
That's the worst death possible.
You hear that? So he said he said that is the worst death possible, man. And they're laughing about it. And what you didn't see on the screen is a blurred video of him lighting himself on fire dead on the ground as these people are laughing at him and naming out their groups that are not associated to 764 but offshoots of 764.
Offshoots of 764 in Discord. But sure, we're all absolutely fucking crazy out here, right? We're all crazy. This doesn't happen. This isn't real. I'm going to back it up a sec.
As these people are laughing at him and naming out their groups that are not associated to 764 but offshoots of 764. So that's from a public YouTube video, but relates to that story I was just telling you. Another one, in one case, a person that was already arrested threw a brick through the window of a pregnant teen's car that was lured from Roblox. She threatened to report the group to NICMIC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and the shock put her into cardiac arrest, killing her and the baby. The guy was arrested for being part of the meaning the 764 group, and he had his own offshoot, and was charging $50 to $200 for bricking, swatting, and doxing services. So bricking, like I said, I'm going to go over these terms, but bricking means show up at somebody's house and either throw a brick through their window, shoot it up with a gun, vandalize it, break windows, do something, record the video, and post it. And sometimes when they do this bricking thing, they'll do it to their own members to see if they're loyal and like won't call the cops, and if the cops come, they won't snitch. They'll literally do it as a loyalty test, which gets even worse in a bit. But that's what bricking is, and that guy is arrested. 22-year-old member of one of the groups kidnapped and raped a 12-year-old girl in Virginia. He was convicted and sentenced to, this is a long sentence, to 350 years in prison. 764 group also leveraged animal torture, incest, rape, self-harm, bestiality from their victims. 17-year-old member Nino live streamed himself attacking an 82-year-old man, and 2 weeks later he murdered a 74-year-old woman on video who he believed to be Roma to prove his loyalty to the group. He was only sentenced to 14 years, and I have a video of that, which is very disturbing. He hurt an old man terribly and murdered an old woman gruesomely live on Discord, the chat application, just to prove to these people that he had what it takes to be part of their group.
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
And did you hear the sentence? 14 years. 14 years.
Where was that?
I don't know off the top of my head.
14 years.
I would imagine it wasn't the United States, because if he believed them to be Roma, that's like a usually other countries. So another one, a 13-year-old girl. This happened 4 days ago.
Where?
In Washington State. A 13-year-old girl was found hanging in a parking lot in Washington while live streaming her suicide. The chat was encouraging her to take her clothes off because they said it would be hotter, quote unquote. And I have the article about that, but the criminal that convinced her originally to live stream this was he was dubbed with hundreds of crimes, and he victimized more than 30 children alone by himself. This one guy. The 13-year-old girl was hanging in a parking lot dead, while the chat was telling her to get naked because it would be hotter. And that just happened, so I don't know about an arrest on that yet.
No matter where you're watching Sean Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can.
Yeah, so, all right, we're halfway there. Discord, Minecraft, Roblox. You getting a picture?
These guys pop on your radar.
764 group is a Satanist cult group that focuses on extreme violence. One of the main things that they focus on is extortion towards children. They believe that nothing matters. They extort children into cutting their wrists, engraving their names into their chests, their legs. They've had children commit suicide live on camera in front of audiences of people while they get cheered on. This is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
What is 764? What is it?
So I'll tell you in my own words first. 764 group is a Satanist cult group that focuses on extreme violence, and one of the main things that they focus on is sextortion towards children. They're labeled as a nihilist group, and for anyone that doesn't know what a nihilist is, it just means like they believe that nothing matters. No, like there's a group called it, but no lives matter. No human life matters. Nothing matters. That's what a nihilist is. And these people have proved over and over again that they fit exactly the description that they're labeled as. And there are a ton of offshoots of this group, which I want to make it very clear that the main reason why they do a lot of the things that I'm about to show you is to get the recognition for it.
There's tons of offshoots of this group. Very important point. This is an expert in the subject matter. Okay, don't listen to me. Don't listen to Adrian or anyone else. This guy was in there. He's an expert. He's documented thousands. There are tons of offshoots of 764. Does it need to be said any clearer?
Recognition for it. There is to get the recognition individually, even if they're part of a group or a group that, you know, they just want their group out there in any way, whether it's negative or positive. This group isn't looking for positive attention. I'll just be candid about it and tell you they extort children out of sexual material. They extort children into cutting their wrist, hurting themselves, cutting areas of their body, engraving their names into their chests, their legs, their arms, their faces. They've had children commit suicide live on camera in front of audiences of people while they get cheered on. They convince children to kill animals in their house, like their pet cats, their pet dogs. They try to convince them to kill their family members, commit mass murders, bestiality, incest, you name it. A lot of it has already been done. And I have a lot of examples of that to show you today. And that is only with 2 of these groups that we've been doing passive reconnaissance on for a short period of time. There is plenty of other active investigations that are going on with other organizations and that I may or may not have involvement in. But what I can show you today is based on what Sentinel and I have found in a relatively short period of time, and it's going to blow your mind. It's absolutely disgusting, and there's more to it. But it was created by it was unbelievable. But a 15-year-old boy started this group in Texas.
A 15-year-old boy?
15-year-old boy started the group. He was the beginning of it, and he, from what I read, was a nonverbal kid that had some, issues. I don't want to glorify this kid or talk about him in any way where anyone would feel bad for him, because he created something that is the worst thing next to, all the other things that we've talked about. This is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. We'll see how you feel about it when you see it. But it was all started from this kid. And there's something called, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's called the COM. And the COM is a collection of mostly teenagers, but there's adults in there as well that congregate on the internet. The COM is short for the community. And they congregate on the internet, and they dox, meaning like release personal information on people. They SWAT, meaning they send SWAT teams to people's houses just to, scare them and to
Like I said, do you find it strange? Doxing and swatting as a form of online intimidation. Geez, where have we seen that before? Oh, surely not in Delphi, right? Surely not in Delphi. What's going on with my, let me fix this. Let's see. Yeah, surely not in Delphi, doxing and swatting as a form of online intimidation, right? And terrorizing individuals in the community.
SWAT teams to people's houses just to, scare them and to get recordings of them being swatted so they can use it to brag. Like, for example, they'll call in to a local department and say, hey, my name is John Doe. I have bombs strapped to the windows. I have my family strapped to the chairs. I'm going to shoot them all if any police enter the door. They're going to say all these horrible things so that a SWAT team, responds. And that's what swatting is. I've personally been swatted 3 times, 2 of which police actually showed up and it was a big deal. I have a video of one of them, but I never gave them the recognition that it happened. There was no proof that it happened other than my recordings of it that I saved on my phone. I didn't want to give them the credit, So that's the comm. The 764 group actually came from the comm, and that doesn't mean all of the people in the comm have their own problems. They do their own stupid stuff. They've been torturing me since I was on your show 3 years ago, releasing my credit report, my personal information, sending pizzas to my houses, USPS boxes to my houses, and on pretty much thousands of boxes, no, literally thousands.
Sending shit to your house. Pause. How many of us in Delphi have received multiples and multiples of items sent to our houses? I have. I know about 4 or 5 out here, and it's funny because look at the ones who've received these mailings in Delphi. Are you seeing all the hallmarks of this group in what happens here to us in Delphi? Not yet? Okay, let's keep listening.
Thousands of boxes, no, literally thousands.
Sending what to your house?
USPS boxes.
Why?
Because they're free. You can order them on the USPS site, and they'll just keep sending pallet after pallet after pallet of these boxes. It's just to be annoying, though. They do it to be annoying and to get a reaction out of you. That's the comm. And a lot of them don't like me, and that's I'll keep the comm pretty short because they're a whole different topic, but usually just annoying. I wouldn't say that they're hackers. I would say they're more annoying, and they have technical abilities. Getting information on people, the way that they mostly do it is they like to use the term TLO, which TLO is just something TransUnion offers to run a report on somebody. And they'll use a stolen private investigator's account to run somebody's name, get their social credit report, and all of the above. And if they don't have access to one, they'll pay $15 to someone that does. And that's how they got my information, which I don't care. I genuinely don't. My credit's frozen. My address is out there publicly. There's nothing about me that they're going to find that isn't already out there. It doesn't matter to me. You can dox me all you want. You could try to swat me, but I know all the police all around my area. They're fully aware that people are going to try swatting me and have continued to try to swat me. I'm not really worried about them. It's more so the 764 group that stemmed from the comm, which is a whole different set of evil that I've never seen, where they want to they want to sextort children. And sextortion, usually for the people out there that are not familiar with that term, sextortion is when somebody sends naked photos, could be an adult or a child, and the second that those photos are sent, they say, if you don't send me X amount of dollars, I'm going to send this to your family, your friends, your school, your loved ones, and they try to extort them out of funds. Most of those sextorters, not that it's okay by any means, but most of them are just trying to make money. They're not trying to do anything evil. And 9 times out of 10, they're never going to send that to anybody. Because they're never going to get paid if they do, number one. And number two, they're if there was a child that they have nude images of, they would be distributing CSAM, child sexual abuse material. So, it happened. The reason why I say that is I have a family member that's very close to me that it happened to. He sent stupid pictures. He was an underage boy, and I won't say his name, obviously, but I had to coach him through how to deal with these people, and they wanted money. They didn't want any of this other evil stuff. And I got them to click a link, the scammers. I found out that they were in a foreign country that was I believe it was Nigeria. It was a couple years ago, but I think it was Nigerian scammers. And I told them, just ignore them. Just don't say anything to them. Ignore them. I know it's hard. I know you probably feel like they're going to ruin your life, but they have no benefit in sending your photos to anybody. And they didn't. That doesn't mean that doesn't happen. It just didn't happen to him. And most of the time, why would they? It's wrong. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not trying to make it sound okay, but in comparison to what these sextorters do, it's not even comparable, man.
I remember you telling me about these guys the last time we met in Florida.
Yeah.
How bad this shit is.
Yeah, I've been working on this for a long time. And with Sentinel, it's been a few months, but I've been working on it for a long time. So How
did these guys pop on your radar?
So I was, a federal agent actually gave me a heads up about them. And from there, I never heard of them at that point. And I started digging in, just reading the public stuff out there, and it blew my mind. It was like the clearest definition of, evil. Like, I keep saying the word, but it is just pure evil. And that's what they want. That's what they're going for. But it's just hard to believe that people out there exist that are even worse, or if not the same level of evil as the other people that I'm fighting against. And a lot of them are teenagers and young 20-somethings, but there's the random 30, 40-plus-year-olds that are involved in this as well, that they just want to cause harm. They want to cause destruction. And what is the next level? It's, it starts with, and I'll get into some of the terminology, but they call it cut signs, or I've heard in some of the groups, cut sluts is what they'll call the little girls, where they cut a username into their arm or their breasts or their legs or whatever part of their body. And it started with that. And then it was, okay, what's the next step? Kill the animals. And then, hold up a username on a piece of paper, and then hold the dead animal in the other hand. And, like that group will then send that message everywhere. And then the person thinks by doing that, the child thinks by doing that, they're going to stop. They're going to leave them alone. And what ends up happening is they know that victim's just going to keep doing whatever they ask, because they've already done it, and now they're in possession of the news, and these people will send it to your family and friends. And it's just unbelievable. There's more to it, but I want to show you some of the content and some of the questions that I'm sure you're going to have. I can answer, and I want to. There's just so much to this that I could go on like an hour tangent trying to explain it. But could I just start by showing you this situation, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay. Well, how's everybody going here? Remember, this is just an introduction to this 5-hour episode over there. But I think it's worth reminding ourselves and highlighting that this is a cancer. This is a huge thing. He's talking about tens upon tens upon tens of thousands of individuals in this group. And like I said, this group has plethora of offshoots that don't go by the name 764, but may go by other names, some of which we may have heard before. And anyhow, I'm going to play one more short clip from this 5-hour episode, and then we'll move on. But thanks everyone for sticking around. I know it's not easy to hear, and hopefully everyone's having a good time in the chat, and also at your house or whatever you're doing. If you're just listening along, that's great too. Sometimes it's good to just listen. But yeah, we'll hear one more clip, and then we'll pull this down. So bear with me here. Thanks for sticking around and toughing it out.
Most popular game 764 cult is luring their victims out.
Roblox.
Okay, sorry. Before I let it go, remember I'm asking you to keep a tally of the platforms that are mentioned, right? All right. Discord, Minecraft, Roblox, and others. let's let it rip here because this is where this is the jumping off point for this last clip that I was saving for last. So here we go.
What are the most popular games 764 cult is luring their victims out of?
Roblox, Minecraft, Instagram, TikTok.
The largest video game platform in the world doesn't want to take any measures at all to save kids. In fact, they made a press release discouraging it.
There's a ton of Charlie Kirk assassination simulators in Roblox that are publicly facing that any child can join.
Hello. Charlie Kirk simulation of assassination. Where else have we seen a simulation of a murder on Roblox? We'll be talking about that shortly. But let me back that up again because I think this clip right here is absolutely phenomenal. This is what I saved the best for last. Let's take a listen to this. So let me back it up and I'll get out of the way. Put your listening ears on.
What are the most popular games 764 cult is luring their victims out of?
Roblox, Minecraft, Instagram, TikTok.
The largest video game platform in the world doesn't want to take any measures at all to save kids. In fact, they made a press release discouraging it.
There's a ton of Charlie Kirk assassination simulators in Roblox that are publicly facing that any child can join.
Roblox makes money off this. Parents are supporting this.
It's unbelievable.
Because they're too fucking lazy to watch their own kids. You better get them off. What are the most popular games that the 764 cult is luring their victims out of?
Roblox, Minecraft, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat.
Okay, tell me about Roblox.
Snapchat. Okay. When I am telling you this is Delphi, it's before Delphi. It's what happened with Delphi and the aftermath. Please wake up, world. This is Delphi. Before, during, and after. We've been dealing with this for 8 years.
Their victims out.
Roblox, Minecraft, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat.
Okay, tell me about Roblox and Minecraft because I don't know anything about gaming. I don't game. I don't.
Understood. I don't either, but it's part of the investigation. You gotta, you know, a lot of times I'm investigating, I end up on these games or apps, and Roblox is the one that I'll focus on the most because that seems like the majority of the issues right now.
I know little kids.
Hold on. Now I know I'm being somewhat annoying, but you know when I do this, it's important.
Oh my God.
Okay, when I do this, it's important.
Bruh.
Listen to the point he just made because he just made a very powerful point, an important point. He just let you know that Roblox was the biggest problem right now. Okay, now let's back it up and listen because you have to understand where these cockroaches are fucking living. Where are they infested? Okay. Where do these colonies of blood-sucking cockroaches congregate? Where are they nested? But we're the crazy ones, right? So let's hear that again.
The most because that seems like investigation. You gotta, you know, a lot of times I'm investigating, I end up on these games or apps, and Roblox is the one that I'll focus on the most because that seems like the majority of the issues right now.
I know little kids that use that game.
There's 75 million active daily users. So it's the largest children's game in the world right now.
I've been telling people too about what you've been telling me for at least 6 months now about the 764 cult. None of their kids are off of it yet.
Yeah, most people they throw their iPad at their kid, they put them on Roblox, and like I said earlier, little cartoon characters running around the screen, no harm in it. But, you know, something that most people see, like you didn't seem to even know, but like they just banned a guy, there's like a young guy who was actually groomed and had issues for himself on Roblox, who has a popular YouTube channel. He started catching predators on Roblox, just regular old predators that are interested in children, not these guys. And he got, to my knowledge, there could be more. There were 6 arrests. I saw 6 mugshots that came from this one guy. His name is Schlepp. And he went like mainstream on the media because Roblox sent him a cease and desist letter for being a vigilante on their platform. They did a press release saying that they're banning vigilantes from Roblox, did a whole statement. You should see this press release. It's unbelievable that all their excuses of why they think vigilantes should not be a part of Roblox. There are a ton of predators. Is this
publicly available?
Yeah.
We'll post that up right now too.
Absolutely.
So this is the official statement from Roblox saying why vigilantes shouldn't be taking down pedophiles and sextortionists off of their platform. They want these people on there. They want these fucking people on there to
That's essentially what it meant to me.
Your children.
Money.
And your children are on here, and I'm fucking telling you, you better get them off. You better fucking get them off. It is going to happen to you.
Yes, these people, they're sitting predators, if you've noticed.
Dude, what the fuck? What fucking parent keeps their fucking kid on there after we're telling them this shit?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's unbelievable to me. And predators hang out in spots where they can prey on victims. That's why there's so many teachers, why there's so many police officers, why there's so many, parks that things happen at, or gym teachers, or people in positions of power where they have access to children. That's where predators end up. And then people are surprised by it. They wonder why. Like, why do you think these people took the job in the first place? Do you think that they weren't a predator? They weren't a pedophile prior to taking the job? Like, they've always been one. So when they're on Roblox, and it's the largest children's game in the world, obviously
it's the largest children's game in the world.
Yeah, largest in the world. So when
largest children's game in the world doesn't want people on the platform saving fucking kids.
That's exactly right.
Are you fucking listening to this shit, people?
Hello.
The largest video game platform in the world doesn't want to take any fucking measures at all to save kids. In fact, they made a press release discouraging it.
Yes.
A cease and desist.
Cease and
Sorry,
desist
not a press
and a press release. Both.
And you're fucking paying this platform money. There's millions of people that are going to listen to this, and I'm fucking telling you, you are complicit in this shit.
100%. And let me tell you some more, Sean. So Roblox,
I'm speechless. He said it better than I could. So it doesn't even pay me to try to add to that, but I will back it up because that's a extremely important point he just made, and he put it very well. So let me back that up because it's unbelievable, actually.
And a press release, both.
And you're fucking paying this platform money. There's millions of people that are going to listen to this, and I'm fucking telling you, you are complicit in this shit.
100%. And let me tell you some more, Sean. So Roblox, if parents have their kids playing on it, if you're familiar with Fortnite, there's a similar in-game currency called V-Bucks in Fortnite, and Roblox is called Robux, like R-O-B-U-X.
Mm-hmm.
So if you went to Target or Walmart or CVS right now, we could go buy a Roblox gift card that a kid can cash in the game, and they get a Robux balance. So they'll get it for their birthday presents, or their parents will buy them these cards, which allows them to buy like outfits in the game or access to do fun things and in actual kids' games, right? Well, there's these public games where developers, like you and I could be a developer for Roblox by just signing up to be a developer, put out a game, Roblox will host the game, and then everything that's purchased by these children in-game purchases, they make 30% commission on. So when they leave up a server that is talking about, child porn, in that example, they use CP as the term. And then there's other servers where they're blatantly wearing 764, shirts as characters. They got upside down crosses. They got satanic symbols. They have people in the chat logs talking about grooming. They have all these things, but they're profiting directly off of this stuff. and they don't have, to my knowledge, it's like it being the largest game in the world comes with some responsibility, for kids. And I believe you should have a full team full of people that are familiar with child crimes working in your content moderation team. And if you don't, then you should be hiring these quote unquote vigilantes that you're kicking off the platform that are getting arrested on your platform. You should be hiring them because obviously they're making more of an impact than Roblox is, at least.
Yeah. So bottom line, and trust me, you're not going to believe, okay? Let me, one more time, prepare yourself for what you're about to see, because he's going to show an example. Okay, because I don't know if that might have just flown by you. Maybe I should back it up. That might have flown by you, what he just said. It's extremely important, and I think everyone's fucking missing this. This is flying over everyone's head because you're not seeing it. So let's take a look. And let's I'm going to back it up a bit because he's, let's see.
And I believe you should have a full team full of people that are familiar with child crimes working in your content moderation team. And if you don't, then you should be hiring these quote unquote vigilantes that you're kicking off the platform that are getting arrested on your platform. You should be hiring them because obviously they're making more of an impact than Roblox is, at least publicly.
Roblox doesn't want to make an impact. They want this shit happening.
I guess.
They want this shit happening.
It's hard to believe,
Otherwise,
yeah.
they wouldn't be sending fucking cease and desist letters to people who are trying to save kids.
Yeah, wait, let me just pull up the press
people
release.
People are fucking supporting this shit.
I want you to hear the title of this.
It's fucking wild.
The title of this
wild.
Roblox press release vigilantes. Like, this is not something I'm just coming up with off the top of my head. It's, let's see. I want you to hear the title of it. More on our removal of vigilantes from Roblox. And it goes into a very long press release that explains why they're removing vigilantes from their platform. Look at this. Why we remove vigilantes. The importance of accurate reporting. Help Roblox remove bad actors.
What happened after this?
So they lost, I think it was, I might be off by a little bit, but $13 billion in market cap, I believe it was within 24 hours after releasing this and doing a cease and desist. The guy Schlepp went very public with the media. Chris Hansen partnered up with Schlepp to, like the YouTuber, to talk about this specific problem because it made no sense. That makes zero sense why they would want to get rid of vigilantes on their platform if they're not causing any harm other than just exposing the predators. And people, a lot of people I'm sure took their kids off of Roblox, but it doesn't take away from the fact that there's 75 million daily users. And another thing outside of child predators, Roblox, I'll show you a picture with it, but before I show you the picture, there's a ton of Charlie Kirk There's a ton of Charlie Kirk assassination simulators in Roblox that are publicly facing that any child can join, that are very graphic. Some are photorealistic, some are cartoon, where they can play the role of the shooter. They can watch in the crowd as he bleeds out. They can, any child can join this, and I have photos of it so you can see.
This is on the most popular kids game in the fucking world.
Yes. So here's some screenshots of Roblox. If you join my Discord server, you'll see real CP. That's just one. Swat us, we dare you. You're based in your mother's basement, but look at that. That's there is another
Pentagram.
one. Yep. The Roblox in-game chat references Twist Sexual Fantasy 764 and the Age of Young Gamer. So if you look in there, join / that name, that's a very popular group for the comm.
So they don't even hide. They don't even hide.
Comm girl on cam / where the comm girl's at. Comm girl meaning like a girl.
They're telling you what they're gonna do before they do it.
Well, not all the time. Sometimes they lure them straight in here and they don't. In this case, they're straight up saying where to go watch it. And this is in game, like in a children's game that should be blocking all of this. Kirk knew it was coming. Hi, Gabby. And you can see the photo of it happening on this character's shirt. There's a game. You can literally go on the Roblox website.
Assassinate Charlie Kirk.
And just press the play button and just play it. and you see this.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you can use real V-Bucks to buy these t-shirts, which I'm not V-Bucks, I'm sorry, Robux, to buy these t-shirts. And, you know, that means Roblox is making 30% off every sale of that t-shirt.
So Roblox is making 30% off selling gamer, what do you call that? Like a skin?
A skin, yeah.
A gamer skin, like an outfit for your character to wear that is Charlie Kirk shot in the fucking neck, bleeding to death.
Yep.
Roblox makes money off this shit.
They make money off of all of this. The predatory behavior.
And parents are supporting this. That's fucking genius.
It's unbelievable.
Because they're too fucking lazy to watch their own kids. That's what this is.
They're too lazy to watch their own kids, and they think that it's not going to happen.
Pay attention. Too lazy to pay attention and to be aware that they're a literal predator. You're handing your kids over to predators by allowing them to get onto Roblox, period.
To them, and their kids are smart enough to not fall into this trap. It's all these things. That is not the case. They're wrong. They're wrong, and I can tell you with absolute certainty, I do this every day. Almost 7 days a week of my life is dedicated to this topic. And I don't have a child. And when I do, I don't know how I'm going to act as a parent, but I can tell you for absolute sure, this is not going to happen in my house. It's not going to happen. My kids are not going to be part of these games. They're not going to be part of social media until a later age. I understand there'll be friends that are going to hand them the phone. I know they're going to break the rules, but I want and look, I can't speak on what I can't. I don't know. Maybe I have a kid that defies everything that I say, and I'll eat my words at that time. But right now, I can't understand why you would even let your child play the game. Why would you buy them Robux in the game? Why would you give them access to a computer if you see they're even playing it, knowing what you know right now? So not just Roblox, Minecraft too, any game where they're talking to strangers that is unrestricted, you should not let them play, especially at a very young age where they don't even know right from wrong. So I can keep going on a rant, but parents are going to make decisions for themselves. And the question that I'm going to get asked, and I get asked by everybody, is what can you do about it? Well, the answer is two things. I wish I had a better answer. It's either sign up for a monitoring software like Bark, because Bark is very good for what it does. It monitors for bullying, monitors for sexual type of activity, it monitors for suicidal ideations, all of those things. I have no partnership in Bark. I just like their company. I think they do a great job. Custodio is another one that also monitors devices, but Bark is the one I know the most. They both, I'm sure, are great. And the most important one is being aware of what this stuff is. Do your research. Watch the news or Google search some of these terms on the news. 764 group, the COM, Roblox, predators on the internet. Watch some of these podcasts. Listen to some of Sean's episodes. Get yourself familiar so that when you have a conversation with your kid, when you decide it's the right age to talk to them about this or that, then you have less of a chance of them falling into this vicious cycle. And if they do fall into it, they feel comfortable enough about it to come to you about it and tell you. And that's the best advice that I can offer you. I don't have a button that just erases predators off this planet. If I did, then half of my life would be a lot more free than it is right now.
No matter where you're watching Sean Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can.
Sorry, I was muted. Okay, and share this. Okay, share this stream tonight. This very stream right here. Hit the share and share this and show this to your relatives. Okay, your kids and to your brothers and sisters and your family members who have kids. This needs to be screamed from the mountaintops. That's where they are, is when you allow kids to get on the internet, period. Got it? Now, before we go too far or beyond this, let me show you. So the two channels, okay, if you're interested in the 5-hour live stream, go over here to the Sean Ryan Show. Okay, so if you go to Sean Ryan Show, click on live streams, and it's a live stream that's recent, and it's 5 hours. Go to the Sean Ryan Show to see the whole thing. You owe it to yourself this weekend to go and watch it. Okay, when you're free, just put it in the earbuds, listen to it in its entirety. Okay, because it's better than just these clips. And then secondly, these clips tonight primarily came over from his other channel, which is very helpful for the highlights, which is Sean Ryan Clips. Okay, so if you want to see these excerpts in particular, you can see the guy down here. Go to Sean Ryan Clips videos, and in the videos, you'll find a handful of these clips that are taken from that 5-hour live stream. Okay, so thank you to Sean Ryan for producing that, because this is probably the most pertinent show on the topic, that 5-hour live stream, that has been produced to date. So you owe it to yourself and your family members to go and check that out. Okay. Now let me remove this, and we're done with that. Now I want to segue into something, because I know that typically in Delphi, a pattern I've noticed, and again, this is not bragging, this is not tooting my own horn, no matter what the people are going to say, this is factual. So typically I'm 6 months, 8 months ahead of where everyone is catching up to. And I know many of you in the chat who are regularly here because you follow. Okay. But I want to show you something that I produced on Substack not too long ago. Okay. You can see this was July 1st, 2025. This is the Delphi Murders Roblox video. Because remember, just as there is a Charlie Kirk reenactment, there was a Delphi Murders reenactment that was then turned into a highly produced, perfected, and highly produced video, which we have come to term the Delphi Murders Roblox video. And I created this article on July 1st of this year to explain it to you guys. And you see, I wrote here: sadistic secret codes, sick, perverted, and potentially revealing guilt knowledge of the murders. Okay, so let's take a close look here at this article. I can walk you through some of it. I say these screenshots establish context for the Roblox video and some relevant information about the platform. Okay. So what we'll do here, we're going to step through some of these. Hey, you can see someone's describing, the community members were describing that it's weird to see this Roblox video because this person reported the video, which was an entire Roblox reconstruction animation of the crime scene from beginning to end with Roblox characters. For Abby and Libby and the murder, it was so effing awful, I had to report it to get it taken down. Oh yes, I remember exactly because of how disgusting it was. It was odd because I remember seeing a very famous 1 million plus Roblox YouTuber early in the comments encouraging the video. It was very horrific for sure because the way it was filmed was very snuff film torture porn style, not in favor of Abby and Libby. It even showed scenes of the girls being raped, or the one girl. The amount of time and effort to make this child murder, sexual assault snuff film is disturbing. The film even included the murderer walking the trail from the car park and commentary gradually reaching a crescendo of excitement. A full murder movie done as if it were titillating, like creepy wank stuff for psychopaths. It was made to look like a K-pop little girl made it, and all the replies to negative comments were childlike replies from the creator. It's very disturbing knowing what we know now, that Roblox chats might have been involved in the Kagan Klein and in the whole murder and in the Snapchat and in the, remember, they were using Yubo, okay, the yellow app, and Doug Carter even went over to to Europe to look into that, quote unquote. Okay. This is relaying what the gentleman was saying, that Roblox allows buyers or players to buy and sell and create virtual items and currency, which can be used to decorate their characters that serves as their avatar. And Roblox is making money off of this. Okay. Roblox administrators can sell accessories, body parts, gear, packages under the official Roblox account. Okay. Some of the highest earning Roblox creators are making over 6 figures a year off of these item sales. Okay. Roblox is free to play with in-game purchases. Okay. Called Robux, the virtual currency. Roblox had in 2020 had over 164 million monthly active users, and this gentleman is now saying 75 million per day, including more than half of all American children. That's right, more than half of all American children under the age of 16. Okay? Roblox has faced criticism for its moderation, microtransactions, and allegations of child exploitative material or exploitative practices towards children. Roblox allows players to create their own games using its proprietary engine, Roblox Studio, which was used to make this Delphi Murders game. Okay? Now, carrying forward, I get into the Roblox video for Delphi where I say, the following series of screenshots lay out the series of events that led to the re-release this year of the Roblox Delphi Murders video. Okay. You'll see that on April 10th of 2025, In Light in the Dark, also known as Adrian, made a live stream demanding that those who were secretly holding this Roblox video make it public. There's Adrian, and as you can see, there's no lies here. That video is April 10th of 2025, in which she demands that the Roblox video be turned over so that it can be handed into law enforcement. Okay. On April 15th, 2025, Jamie Hicks made a response on YouTube to Adrian's initial demand. On April 21st, 2025, the Peggy O channel does a live stream entitled Rejection Projection. In the live chat of this live stream, a link to the video, to the Roblox Delphi Murders video, was dropped. Here's the date, April 21st, 2025. During the April 21st, 2025 Peggy O live stream, Jinx13 begins discussing the Roblox video, mocking those who are asking for it and referring to it as being, quote, on a public access website. That's Jinx13. And pay attention to the spelling here. Gen X13. Okay, Gen. What is a Gen? Okay, study Arabic history and look up the Gen. Okay, what is an X in occult symbology? The X is a hex. Okay, the X is a sigil. The X is a satanic or witchcraft sigil, as is the number 13. Gen X 13 begins discussing the Roblox video and mocking. Remember, every time they're mocking, every time there is mocking in the controlled opposition and in the narrative controllers, we have identified that a huge pattern in this campaign that's being run online is mocking is always used when the truth is told. When you hit something on the head, you hit the nail on the head, mocking is a primary go-to strategy that this group uses to try to discount and discredit your correct assertions. Okay. And here you see a bunch of the bad actors in this case. Paulie Walnuts, Miss Bojangles, Jinx 13, Gen X 13, Delulu Bishes, okay? The mocking, how the F is anyone holding the Roblox video hostage when it's on a public access website, which means it was just published. It was just in the hour before it was published to a website in order to do this thing here, which was the dropping of this, okay, to drop this video onto the internet once again after it was secretly hoarded for years. After it was created, a upload was made to Streamable immediately prior to it being dropped here in this live chat. I said only 30 minutes into the live, Jinx 13, Gen X 13 drops a link to the video, which is being hosted on streamable.com. At that time, I visited the link personally, yours truly, Prof. I was actively watching the live stream. I went immediately and clicked the link, which brought me directly to the Streamable posting of the Delphi Murders Roblox video that showed that the video had just been freshly posted in its original format and quality, because that is a fact that we knew. We knew what the original format would originally look like and the original quality and how many megabytes of data it contained. That original quality, original video was posted immediately prior to the stream, because when I visited as the sixth person, it only had 6 views, which means it only had 5 views prior to me clicking it. Okay. And here is the proof. This is the posting. Jinx 13, Gen X 13 Evil Eye. Lord have mercy, I finally found it. Here's the damn public access website. That's the mocking. Here was the link. Okay. And you see Miss Bojangles, ha ha ha. Okay. Paulie Walnuts, yep, that's the one I saw. Okay. Miss Bojangles, ha ha ha. Okay. Delulu Bitches, Bo You Doll. Okay. The Roblox Delphi Murders live action reenactment is released. Take notice that the video is highly produced. I consistently make that point to you so you don't think that this is just a screen recording of gameplay. It's very important you understand that this is a highly produced production. It's polished, okay, with editing done post gameplay, including a title screen, a soundtrack, and other overlays over the initial gameplay. The fonts, transitions, and edits all reveal that the video was created in its final form on an Apple computer. How do I know? Because I use iMovie. It's very clear to me as I look at the fonts, as I look at the transitions and study the video. Being a person who creates on iMovie, I'm very familiar with all of the fonts and the transitions, etc., that are contained in iMovie. This was definitely created on iMovie. It's also noteworthy that this project is labeled as a reenactment. Okay, interesting enough, right? Look at the title screen. Delphi Murders Live Action Reenactment. And I drew an arrow to draw your attention to the term reenactment. This is pretty bizarre that this would be called a reenactment when you study the contents of the video. Okay, here's my first initial observation. I said small initial observation. Note that the signage states Delphi Historic Trails open dawn to dusk. Isn't it interesting that the word dawn is used here? Open dawn to dusk. All of this had to be created in the gameplay. Just be aware of that. As you're looking at this, Every single aspect of this had to be created by the game developer, okay, including this sign. And this sign says Delphi Historic Trails, open dawn to dusk. Interesting to note that the script writers mock the fact that the internet is a bad and scary place. Remember my statement to you that mocking is always used when facts are told. When you are directly over the target, when you hit the nail on the head, they mock. It's the primary strategy of all of these people, both sides in the Delphi murders online narrative control sphere. Okay, so what are they mocking? They're mocking the fact that the internet is a bad and scary place, because here they have Abby and Libby, and they have Libby saying, they have Abby saying, my parents said the internet is a bad and scary place. And Libby says, I don't think they realize how embarrassing it is to be in middle school with no phone. And again, they're mocking that the internet is a bad and scary place. Once again, here's the first occurrence within this text of the letter X, again interjected into a word. Here snap, as in Snapchat, S-N-A-P, Snapchat, snap is spelled as S-N-X-A-P, right here. S-N-X-A-P, referring to a supposed Snapchat post. Also, you'll see that the fake Abby Snapchat image is overlaid over the initial gameplay. This is strategy. Now look at it. You see, snap with the X interjected. Understand what I'm saying to you about this letter X. It's a sigil. It's a witchcraft symbol. Liberty German. Fake Snapchat photo of Abby on the bridge. Remember, over the years, we've had a handful of experts advise us, a bunch of different creators have been advised that this photo is absolutely photoshopped. It's not real. Okay, this is not an authentic image. Even the court and the prosecutor and law enforcement could not produce this actual piece of information. They could not find this in the phone. This does not exist. When in trial, when this was brought into trial, which it was brought into trial as a result of an internet search where everyone else finds this photoshopped image, okay? This fake image of Abby right here that has been proven a fake by multiple, okay? Notice that this is pasted over this initial gameplay in this highly polished production. Once again, here you'll see what appears to be a username glitch, which comes up as Madison. It's briefly displayed as the name for Bridge Guy. So suddenly Bridge Guy glitches to Madison. Okay, and you'll see here, Madison in the red box. And once again, you'll see it glitches again. The name Madison again appears as the name for Bridge Guy, and what appears to be another username glitch. Again, it glitches to Madison. And you see Abigail and Liberty here. Okay. In this image, Abigail's name is suddenly replaced by the username Funsies3424 in another username glitch. So suddenly Abby's name glitches to Funsies3424. I've highlighted some creepy dialogue that occurs after the sexual assault graping scene of Liberty. After the sexual assault scene, and just prior to the murder of Libby, you'll see the fetishization of the victim, Liberty German. Here you see, please leave me alone. You already got Abby, cries, Liberty. And you see she's nude here. Because I can. I've thought I've lost you, my sweet sugar. See the arrow here? My sweet sugar touches chin. Remember, this is labeled as a reenactment. In the scene where Libby is murdered or killed, a chat box suddenly pops up and reveals another username, Leah Michelle, with the X. Once again, look at the X here. Do you see the X interjected into the name Michelle? Leah Michelle with the X interjected once again. The username Leah Michelle was formerly Yammyox. And check it out again. Yammy XXOX. Yammy XX. The X's. Once again, you see the X's are just predominant. After the murders, it says in this screenshot, I've highlighted the name Abigail Williams with the X, which also has an X interjected into the name Abigail. So the name Abigail, Abxigail, Williams, which has an X interjected into Abigail's first name. Okay, right here in the first box. Abigail with the X interjected. Note also Tamaguchi with the X possibly replacing the U in Tamaguchi and the photo overlay. So what I'm drawing your attention to here, notice that Tamaguchi suddenly has the X replacing the letter U. Tamaguchi turns into Tamaguchi with the X again interjected. And notice again the photo overlays. Okay, the photo overlays of the victims here that have been attached post-production. And notice this is a BBC set. Oddly enough, okay, this is a recreation of a BBC set. I find it interesting that the location name is initially redacted, then replaced with Delphi with the X interjected, lowercase d with an X interjected immediately after the first letter. You see here, Delphi with the X interjected. Okay, Tamaguchi is also labeled as the name of the BBC reporter. Why is the BBC used in this video? Why is Delphi lowercase initially redacted and then repeated lowercase with the X interjected? Are these sigils? And in its closing, note that this closing character is in a room labeled as Blonde Sorority Girl VIP Besties. Okay, so this room is labeled as Blonde Sorority Girl VIP Besties. I find the 100% real to be another odd addition. So it's interesting that this character says at the end of this quote unquote reenactment, remember it's titled as a reenactment, 100% real with I put the arrow here. Why is this Blonde Sorority Girl VIP Besties again asserting this is 100% real after all of these sigils and all of this rape scene and after a title screen that states reenactment? Note additionally here that this character signs her name as C. Okay, see the C? C, semicolon. Extremely bizarre after viewing a reenactment of a sexual assault and double murder of 2 children, and while talking about 2 real young murdered girls who were murdered in real life in Delphi, Indiana, this juvenile female character gleefully takes off her pants and claps her cheeks. Okay, so this juvenile female character takes off her pants, strips off her pants, and claps her cheeks in a very disrespectful, celebratory, and dancing fashion. Okay? Why? Who made this? Why was this made? Why was it turned into a finalized production, not just good enough to be screen recorded gameplay? Why was this turned into an actual finished production with title screen, edits, overlays, etc.? The aftermath. After searching all of the aforementioned usernames, I personally located a Twitch user, okay, named Tamaguchi, same spelling with the X over the U, TAMAGXCCI, an identical match to our video. You can see twitch.tv, Tamaguchi with the X over the U, about. You see here? Okay. These are receipts. Tamaguchi, 8 followers. After some searching, I also managed to locate a PayPal user account named Tamaguchi with the handle at Tamaguchi with the X. The handle is at TAMAGXCCI, another identical match to our video. See here? A note on the letter X from Leon Seltzer, PhD. Because it's been employed in so many fields, from algebra to genetics to aerospace to sex and spirituality, X's abundant meanings have almost everything to do with the context that engages it. X has long been recognized as an occult symbol for Satan. X has long been recognized as an occult symbol for Satan and the black art or witchcraft of Satanism. Witches cross their fingers to focus their energy and convey their possession of demonic powers. Okay? X, as it relates not so much to a fond or sentimental attachment, but to something far more lustful or passionate, gives us X-rated, and the word sex itself. And not only does this usage address the earthier, more animalistic side of our nature, it can also slip into the realm of naughty, illicit, or forbidden. Symbolizing explicit or graphical sexual content, we have extreme porn designated as XXX and XXXX. Okay, XXXX has been increasingly showing up to suggest really bold, intense, or outrageous displays of sexual daring do. X is also implicated in taking a life or death oath, as in cross my heart, hope to die. In Kabbalistic philosophy, a branch of Jewish mysticism, as referring to both life and death. X is signifying the end of something, an entity whose existence is over, past, dead, and gone. Here, perhaps we have X as the most, there it is, nihilistic of letters. Okay, the most nihilistic of letters. Curiously, cartoonists have traditionally employed it to display a character out cold or dead, drawing X's over the eyes. As already alluded to, as symbolizing fatality in the well-known skull and crossbones emblem, marking the scene of a crime in a plan or photograph. Okay, X marks the spot, right? In secret societies, X as employed to emphasize their strength, their exclusivity, and a certain subversiveness or duplicity about them. In secret societies or secret groups or these cults, expressed, for example, through crossed arms and legs, which can be code for crossed, meaning as in left meaning right, or things being inverted, black for white, yes for no, up for down, right for wrong. In linguistics, X is what's been called a phonetic chameleon. It's used to replicate such sounds as KS as in wax, GZ as in exhaust, Z as in xenophobia, K as in excite, and KZH as in luxury. And the letter can also hush up, that is to be silent, as in Sioux Falls. Silent X. Wow, talk about diversity or confusion, okay? And anyhow, if you were to visit my Substack here, you'll see a video I've attached, a clip from one of my live stream videos. So if you want to see this clip, go and visit my Substack here and you'll see it. But I have some additional context with that video. And furthermore, I have an additional article called the Roblox swatting, because remember that after Adrian and I discussed this Roblox video, we were both reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children hotline in an attempt to SWAT us. We were both reported to our police, who both separately had to investigate us for the allegations of possession of CSAM merely because we discussed this Roblox video. Yes, we were swatted for it. You can read that article on the Substack as well. So please check out the Substack. If you're new here, the Substack is at Read the Prof, okay, at Substack. So anyhow, if you go over to the Substack, not only we find a plethora of other stuff, okay, there's all kind of articles on all kind of things, and there's some new articles coming up, okay? I got a group of 10 articles coming your way shortly. That's right, 10 articles. What I chose to do in this past month was to spend the month writing 10 separate articles. I'm going to release those all at once for you guys. So in the next few days, you're going to have a 10 article series to check out over at Read the Prof at Substack. But in addition to those 10 articles that I'm about to release, that series, you also have that article we just looked at, the Roblox video, the Delphi murders Roblox video, where you can go look at that and watch the video. And you'll see all kind of other articles. And I also display an entire article on Adrian's swatting attempt, and with the receipts, because remember, everything I've shown to you, as always, there's receipts for everything. Absolutely nothing I say ever comes without a multitude of receipts for your inspection, so that you can see for yourself what we are actually saying. You can experience it for yourself. You can convince yourself of what we are saying. And I always admonish you, pay attention to the people who show you receipts for absolutely everything and those who don't. And you're going to notice a little pattern here. And the pattern you're going to notice is that those telling the truth have receipts for absolutely everything. And those who are not telling the truth and deceiving you have receipts for nothing. Okay? Anyhow, you can go over to Read the Prof at Substack, and maybe someone in my one of my mods will please post the link in the chat now. Post the link tree or post the Substack link, okay? So that all of you guys can go and check out my Substack. You can subscribe for free. There's a few, a minor few articles that are paywalled, but 90% of the Substack is free for your perusal. So go have at it for free at Substack. If you want to support me there, though, you can pay to get beyond the paywall for the 2 or 3 that have a paywall. But please check me out at Substack for all of that stuff. And for what's coming, you got a group of 10. I'm going to drop 10 simultaneously. So that should be some good reading that will take you some time. And also, while my mods are here, there's a number of links I'd like you to post. You can post the Rotting Jules channel, okay, and go check out and listen to her content. True Crime Design, please post her link. Go listen and check out her channel. She's amazing, okay. In Light in the Dark, that's Adrian's channel. Please go check out Adrian's channel. It's amazing. Daisy Ask, Amy G, Oh Hey Christina, okay. Please go check out all of our best creators in the Delphi space so that you can become informed on the fuller context, because you can't get it all here. You get my slice of the pie. So you got to go around to those who are actually showing you receipts and giving you the truth in a free speech environment, so that you can go over there and you can experience their communities and their perspectives, and maybe bring it back here with a better informed perspective, because we appreciate having all of the input. Like I said, it takes a village to raise a child, right? It takes a team to make it work. There's no way that one person can do it all. So please go subscribe once again to Rotting Jules, True Crime Design, In Light in the Dark, Amy G, Oh Hey Christina, the Prof at Substack, okay? Also be aware, I have a Twitch channel for those of you who like informal hangouts. I've been taking a little break from it because I've been under the weather, but I'll be back to Thursday nights on Twitch. So please go sign up at Twitch and follow me there if you're interested in just informal hangouts. I don't always want to do serious talk. Sometimes I want to just say hi to everyone. So that's what Twitch is for. And we'll be back over there soon. And with that being said, I want to thank everybody for coming and putting up with the bitter pill we had to swallow tonight, because no one wants to really listen to this or see that stuff we had to check out tonight, but we had to check it out. For our own betterment and for everyone else. Sometimes you got to hear what you don't want to hear. We can't be the three monkeys, right? We can't be monkeys here. We can't cover our eyes, cover our ears, and cover our mouths. See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. We have to say it. We have to see it. We have to hear it. Okay, that's why we're here. Truth to power is the key to success always, because this is our social media, or this is our media today, is what I meant to say. Remember, this is our media. You're not going to get it on MSNBC or anywhere else in the mainstream. Social media is our mainstream media, which is why we're here. Okay, we all have a voice. This can go far and wide if you make it. So it's up to us to discuss this here, to look at it here, to be allowed the latitude to have free speech here, which is why I started the show saying that. It's very important that we be able to come here, express ourselves freely, hypothesize, speculate, right? Have fellowship, throw ideas around, brainstorm, and come together for the betterment of society, right? Including Abby and Libby. Because here's the matter of fact. There is very, very, very little confidence out in public that justice was served for Abby and Libby. And when I mean it's 5-10% confidence. When we take the litmus out in this community as to who's satisfied with what happened with this conviction of Richard Allen, it's 10% of the bloodlusters who are actually happy and satisfied with what happened. Because reasonable people, the 90 percentile, know that that was a miscarriage of justice. Because how are you ever going to achieve justice for two child victims, Abby and Libby, when you don't have a fair trial for the person accused of doing harm to them? And that's the bottom line. The entire world knows that when they look into this trial of Richard Allen and all that predated it and all that's followed, that justice was not served because it was not fully fair, balanced, and transparent, which is why it's very important that we are still here discussing that fact. We can't just let it go, let the flame flicker out, and move on as if there's nothing to see here, because we still have two victims who can't rest in peace as long as this travesty stands. And that's the bitter truth about what has happened with Delphi, why we're all still here. And we are going to exercise our speech over the issue. And I suggest all of us here exercise our speech. Hold those accountable who are committing subterfuge behind the scenes in this case. Right? Speak the truth to them. Pull yourselves up, poke your chest out, and get brave and speak the truth to power, because we all know that what happened was not right. We're dealing with a patsy. And even if this guy was involved in some way, he still did not receive a fair trial. No evidence was produced that was compelling that he was involved. And we have plenty of compelling evidence that others were involved. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, reference Keegan Kline, Reese Davis, Ron Logan, Noe Amos, etc. Right? So with that being said, I want to thank you all. And I got a little excited. Hey, I'm blaming the chocolate. And yes, I'm a psychopath. It's the 100% chocolate. I think it's got me fully aware and awake, and I'm a little overfueled. So I feel passionate about it. I raise my voice, but I mean what I say. I'm very, very excited, okay, to see this community opening their eyes up to what's actually going on in this entire sphere. It's very important that we do that. It's hard to crack your eyes open unless you've been targeted, because it's the targeting that makes you sensitive to the subtleties of what's happening. But it's incumbent upon everybody to try your best to understand, figure out who you trust, and go look at it and go hear a plethora of voices and determine for yourself what holds merit and what doesn't, okay? With that being said, I want to ask all of you to pray for me. Pray for my health and my prosperity, my family, and this project here. Because it's very, very, very difficult to keep carrying forward. You know how in recovery, they'll say, take it day by day, one day at a time. Well, I'm telling you right now, this enterprise is to the extent that it's literally a one day at a time endeavor. It's very difficult to keep putting one foot in front of the other when you're the target of a very large group of people for a sustained period of time. This is a difficult endeavor. Whether I'll make it another episode or another month or another year, who knows? It's very difficult. Every step is difficult. But your support and encouragement, and every other creator's support and encouragement and demand for the truth, is additional fuel that makes one more time possible. Because tonight would not have happened without a few people that made it possible. And the next one probably won't happen without a few people that make it possible. So please understand what I'm saying. Support all of us here who are in the front lines, because it's difficult. It truly is. Look at all of those who've left. Look at the law enforcement officers who stepped down or died. This is a very difficult undertaking. So understand that, okay? And anyway, with that being said, I love the Prof's crew so much. I really do love you. This community here is amazing. And I want to thank you for being here on another live. We made it. And I hope to see everyone soon. Please send me a message. Send me an email. I just love your emails. If you check out my description of the channel, the About Me, there's a link tree. My email's in there and everything else. All right. So I want to hear from everyone. I need to hear from you. Anyway, God bless and good night. We love you. All right. Cheers.
All we need good vibes, good vibes. so patient, I'm going places, can't fake it. My heart is so cold, my energy is contagious. All the pain, I can't take it. I'm staying grounded and graceful, cause I know everything that I've been through only made me count my blessings daily. Yeah, they've been acting shady, but I don't take it personal. The memories fading, I'm enjoying the moment. I've been smelling the roses, taking time to reflect, stepping back, the truth unfolding, unfolding. You know that I'm true either way it go, either way it goes. I cannot turn cold, staying on the low. It was our job. Protecting my soul. If your intentions are not pure, I can't let you get too close, cause I'm vibrating high. Ain't got time for your ego, these niggas quit to turn me back. Acting like the amigos, he never cared in the shows. Wasn't with you at your lows, assuming that you gonna fold. But baby, I've been growing ever since I let you go. And I've been doing better, and I know that hurts to know. Hurts to know. Only good vibes around me, and that's for sure.
It's not productive, it's kind of gross and icky, and I feel like it tells us more about them than the people that are trying to degrade. They're always trying to degrade someone.
Prof is a fucking terrorist, a fucking pedophile, sympathizing fucking terrorist.
You see me searching for my enemies, I've been learning more about myself and my purpose. Truth always come to the surface, was hurting, but I had to heal, releasing all the pain that I always held. Been going through some changes, I'll make it still, protecting my soul to keep it real. Only need good vibes, good vibes, good vibes, good vibes. Only need good vibes, good vibes, good vibes, good vibes. Only need good vibes. And I only need good vibes, good vibes, good vibes, good vibes.
It's not productive, it's kind of gross and icky, and I feel like it tells us more about them than the people they're trying to degrade. They're always trying to degrade someone.
It was our job to help law enforcement.
I'm legally blind.
I've got a dream for the world. Peace in the rivers and everywhere. Bridges of steel and love. And cities that smile. Oh. Gray empty faces walk by. Hands try to hide all the loneliness. Lighting a cigarette to blow time away. Lost in the noise, lonely as the wind. People on the sidewalks with no place to go. Can they learn to understand world of love that I'm dreaming? Oh, and I said I People filled with laughter and toy balloons, and people with hearts that care, who listen for love. Hey, won't you listen, wanting to care, wanting to share all my dreams for the world? Can they learn to understand? World of love that I'm dreaming.
Well, obviously, we have a rapist in Lincoln Park. He's climbing in your windows. He's snatching your people up, trying to rape them. So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because they're raping everybody out here.
As an expert at being Mickey Mouse, yeah, I can say seriously, yeah, you're right, Rick. This is some Mickey Mouse bullshit.